Greetings friends, I'm Lado Okhotnikov. In this video you will learn the details of the new marketing of the updated Forsage. Now the development of the system, its smart contracts, backend and frontend is in full swing. Updated, improved and optimized Forsage is now part of the global Force system. Force is the next step in the evolution of our community. We began to talk about development in this direction in the summer of 2020. When it came to the point, we found out how much labor and finance would be required to develop what was planned. And unfortunately, this didn't attract my former co-authors of the former Forsage. They preferred to repeat the same marketing on different blockchains. Of course, we had other reasons to connect new blockchains, but I wanted to at least give the possibility of transferring, as I did now in the new Forsage. One way or another, the old version of Forsage became too overloaded, so there was a demand to create a new one that is much more functional. It is the context of Force that Forsage has the opportunity to develop to new levels. What you will see when I present Force to you, despite its complexity and richness, is only the visible part of the creation. Work on the creation entered on active phase last spring. There were many experiments, trial developments, there were variations of different partnerships, numerous legal and technical consultations, etc. Our global system includes a variety of directions, all of which have a connection with our coin. In addition to Force marketing, these are NFT, Forsage, NFT platform, academy, marketing tools, traders club, and much more. IDO for our coin, that is, its primary distribution, will take place through Force marketing. The emission of the coin is limited. Our crypto has a very strong base. It is needed for all our products. Force marketing is based on it, and Forsage will work on it. In addition, for those wishing to receive passive income, there will be the possibility of a unique holding, which has no analogs and creating an additional deficit on the coin, without the inflationary side effect of conventional staking, because there is no new emission for rewards, but the rewards is economically justified, like all other income opportunities in Force and Forsage. Such a coin has a long-term growth potential. The most important element of Force and new Forsage is a demanded product, which each participant acquires by activating the slot level. This is not an imitation of product, but a full-fledged product that should attract in itself, even without participating in marketing. However, we are keeping our famous generous approach to marketing, 100% of income into the affiliate network. How did we do it? For the product, we used two sources of funding. I already talked about one of them before, and let's repeat it. This is the surplus income of ID1. Surplus income is what marketing should have been going to ID1's upline if ID1 had an upline. In the old scheme, the creators took this part of the income for themselves. When a reactivation occurred, then ID1 turns out to have bought a level from himself before. Now all that funds, except for those that supposed to ID1 by marketing, are directed to the product fund, to a separate smart contract. As for another source of financing for the product, I will describe it a little later. Force smart contract is already ready, but its testing takes a very long time, since the system is very complex. Nothing like this has ever happened. So, for now, I will only give you a general description. Force marketing is a non-divisible matrix, also known as delta. you get a matrix income up to a minimum of 5 lines deep, which gives the potential of a minimum 930% matrix turnover or more. Additionally, each participant has the possibility of a 4-level referral program. Let's list briefly features of the Force marketing. 100% of income to the affiliate network. Even wider spillover possibilities. Matrix payouts are possible deeper than the 5th line. Referral structure rewards. In-demand product for participants. Selling a product is another income opportunity. Constant turnover, the basis of long-term income. NFT with ample opportunities. Unique cryptonomics with increased coin demand. Additional pre-launch features. Acquisition of coin at the most favorable price. The ability to earn in a coin at the most favorable rates. NFT investment opportunity. This is just a short listing. Detailed analysis of marketing coming soon. The updated Force will be a part of our metaverse when the full launch takes place. This will happen after the launch of Force. But the members are waiting. They need to get their teams actively involved as soon as possible. So we'll releasing Force in pre-launch before Force's launch as just marketing programs. The new Force is optimized and much more balanced. Instead of many programs scattered across different blockchains, we are accumulating all the features of Force in 2 programs on one blockchain. We do not plan to change the blockchain, but just in case, we take into account such a hypothetical possibility in the distant future. And so we foresaw the possibility of a harmonious transfer. At the same time, the former participants will not have to buy slot levels again, as it was before. But I repeat, we envisage it just in case. We have no such intention to change the blockchain. The nearest launch that awaits us is Force Classic. This is a program in the form in which Force was originally conceived. But 2 years ago, at the very beginning, programmers were afraid that they would not be able to cope with such a task, and we had to split original concept into 2 programs, X3 and X4. However, X3 plus X4 activation is known to occur simultaneously. It is impossible to activate them separately. If you remember, I have always said that the strength of these programs is precisely in tandem. In isolation, they are fraught with skewness. But in the old version, they are separated. In the new Force, full-fledged interaction is implemented. Now I finally have a more advanced team of programmers capable of much more difficult tasks. So I will now try to explain marketing in a way that is understandable to beginners. And for old Force participants who are already familiar with the old programs, I will outline the main differences. It is a classical matrix. The first level of the slot is an X4 scheme. The second level is also X4. And the third is X3. Then it repeats 2 through 1. The fourth and fifth X4. The sixth X3. The seventh and eighth X4. The ninth X3. The 10th and 11th X4. 12th X3. An important change that requires a detailed explanation concerns reactivations or reinvestments, as well as upgrades. The coin on which the smart contract works will temporarily be BUSD, and after the issue on IDO, our coin will be used, while we will have an oracle in order to adjust the current price, which can change, although in dollars it will remain fixed. Well, and of course, a fundamentally important change. Now, by activating the matrix, you get the product. In order to start a Forsage business, you need to use a stablecoin, BUSD, i.e. Binance USD. A stablecoin is a convenient token for settlements, because its rate is always equal to dollar. You will find instructions under this video. They are easy to find on the internet, or you can ask your partners for help. This is easy to learn. After all, blockchain and crypto wallets are designed for a simple mass user. I remind you that for all transactions, you need to have a small amount of BNB coins in order to pay fees. A similar rule applies in any blockchain. Transactions are paid for by the main coin of the blockchain. Note that cryptocurrencies has such a peculiarity that the fee does not depend on the amount of the transfer, and even null transactions are charged fees. The good news is that BNB chain transactions are cheap. Your first transaction just will be null. This is a registration. By registering once, in the future you can activate any program without new registering. That is, by the time Force is launched, you will already be registered, and therefore you will be able to log in earlier. Register using the referral link of the person who opened this business for you, and then you have more chances that people you invited to register, strictly according to your referral link. Referral connections are saved for all our programs. Activating the first level of the matrix costs 5 BUSD, which is equal to $5. This is a pre-launch cost. About 3 weeks after the launch of the Force, a full start will take place, and the full cost of all levels will be 2 times higher. That is, the normal price of the first level of the matrix is 10 BUSD. As soon as the payment is made, it is instantly sent to the wallet of the higher partner, and you fill the matrix of your inviter. At the same time, your own matrix opens up, in which there are 6 spots under you, 2 on the first line and 4 on the second. It is possible that a part of your matrix is inside the matrix of your upline, if you got to him in the first line. Filling in your matrix is possible both with your actions, if you invite, and spillovers from above, from a higher partner, as well as spillovers from below, when downlines of your first line are inviting. Thus, with the whole team you fill in the spots, and the payments to you do not depend on whose invitee is the one who filled the spot of your matrix. Payouts in this slot come to you from the second line. These are 4 payments of 100%. When new participants activate the spots in your matrices, the funds sends directly to your wallet, or otherwise bring your income. Now I will explain what otherwise means. The last 4th payment is intended for reactivation. It is activation of the same matrix when the previous one is completely filled. It is best to do this automatically, instantly after closing the previous one, so as not to miss income. Therefore, the auto reactivation mode is enabled by default. In the former Forsage, this is the only possible mode, but we decided to give you freedom of choice. And there is an option to disable this mode. But in this case you pay a commission of 25%, which are sent to the product fund. Here is another source that I mentioned. Thus, it turns out win-win. If the participant does not turn off, then the movement continues. If he turns off, then the product fund is replenished. When the partners you invited fill the matrices, they also have an auto-reactivation if they do not turn it off. And they again take spot in your new matrix, and you receive income. In addition to reactivation, there are more upgrades. It is important for you, for your development, that your team members do not stand still, but activate new levels of slots. In the old Forsage, The motivation for this was to freeze income after passing one circle of the matrix, if the next level is not activated. We decided to remove this freeze. This approach has a number of disadvantages. Many simply do not notice that they have passed the circle and they lose income. Instead, we use auto upgrades. By default, auto upgrade switched on at your top active level, except for the 12th, the topest one, of course. Accordingly, at the first level you have auto upgrade enabled by default, if the second level is not already activated. If you have already activated the second level of the slot, then your first level do not need upgrade. In general, we recommend that most participants activate at least 5 levels of slots from the very start in order not to lose profit, because many will do this, and you need to have active matrices to make a profit. If you have activated 5 levels, then upgrades are not needed on the first 4, and auto upgrade is on the 5th by default, so that the next 6th level on the matrix will be activated in your next step. Each next level costs exactly twice as much as the previous one, so you need to collect 2 payments, respectively the second and third. One payout is stored in a special smart contract for this, to which no one has access except you. Then, as soon as another payout appears, the amount is combined and the next level is instantly activated. Your downline partners will have the same, and thus your next level will fill up. Each participant has the opportunity to disable auto-upgrade by paying a 25% commission, which immediately replenish the fund of our product. In this way, it turns out to be much fairer than in the old system, in which those who wanted to develop the structure often lose money by mistake. In the new version, the commission will be removed from those who do not want to develop, and these funds will benefit everyone. So, as I said, I recommend activating at least 5 levels of slots from the start. Many leaders activate more at once. But we are now considering the path from the minimum, first level of the slot, after which the participant activates the second, which is absolutely identical to the first, but costs 2 times more, and accordingly, your income in it is twice as much. The cost of the second level of the slot, respectively, is 10 BUSD or dollars at the pre-launch, and after a full start it will be 20 BUSD. Profitability, both of the first and second levels, equal 400%, of which 300% is net profit. After passing the second level of the slot, the auto-upgrade will activate the third slot for you, if it has not been activated before, which is already different from the previous ones. Here, instead of 6, there are only 3 spots in the matrix, in one line. Such a matrix gives the fastest income to active participants. You do not need to wait for the first line to be filled. You immediately receive 100% from everyone who fills your matrix. Total 300% income, of which 200% is your net profit. The auto-reactivation and auto-upgrade rules work similarly here. For auto-upgrade, of course, you need to collect the first 2 payments. Let me remind you then, an upgrade is needed only if the next level of the slot has not yet been activated, and only once, after which every circle you receive a net profit instantly, directly to your wallet. In total, the Forsage Classic program has 12 levels of matrix slots. Every 3 levels, the sequence is repeated. 2 matrices with 6 spots in 2 lines, 2 plus 4, and 1 matrix with 3 spots in 1 line. All of them move at the same time in parallel, and all at the same time bring profit. Each next level can only be activated sequentially, one after another. After the first, the second, then the third, then the fourth, etc. During the pre-launch, The first level of the slot costs 5 BUSD. Then each next level is exactly twice as expensive. The most expensive, level 12, already 10,240 BUSD. Keep in mind that all this is at a 50% discount from the normal price of slots, which will come from the start. Payment at the initial stage takes place in the BUSD token. This is a stable coin, which is always equal to the dollar. Those who enter the Forsage before the start of the force, in addition to a 50% discount on the activation of the slot levels, will receive priority for entering the force program, since you will already be registered in the referral system. Shortly after the launch of force, Forsage will fully launches with normal price of slot levels. Those who manage to activate slot levels earlier will be able to save 50% on activation. After the launch, many more surprises and new features await you, which will continue to attract new audiences to the program. Then, when the emission of our coin is completed, then marketing will be transferred to our coin, and the price will be adjusted according to the current rate. Earning money in our coin will most likely be more profitable for you. All this is pre-written in the smart contract algorithm. If we calculate how much it costs now to activate all levels of slots, it turns out 5 plus 10 plus 20 plus 40 plus 80 plus 160 plus 320 plus 640 plus 1280 plus 2560 plus 5120 plus 10,240, total is $20,475. When the price becomes standard, the total amount will already be $40,950. We have leaders who are ready to activate so many at once. Most will rely on much more modest start, for example 5 levels of slots, which will cost only $155 at the pre-launch. Let's calculate what income and profit you have here. I hope you underestimate the importance of income. Yes, of course, the net profit is what you get directly into your wallet, minus the last payout at the end of the matrix, which goes to the reactivation. But the reactivation gives you that matrix all over again. That is, at the end of each circle of the matrix, you have not only net profit, but also an activated matrix, which will bring you more profit. You can activate all 12 slot levels at once, or come to this gradually, for example starting with 5 levels of slots. If you add up the income from one circle of all slot levels, you get the amount of $70,200, and the net profit is $49,725. And this is only from one circle of each slot. After the start, it will be twice as much. However, all slots move at different speeds. On average, each level of the slot is faster than the higher one by 1 cycle. That is something like this. While second level of the slot will make 1 circle, the first will already make 2 circles. When the third level passes 1 circle, then the second level will pass 2 circles, and the first 3 circles, etc. In this scenario, the profitability of all levels from one such extended cycle will already be $146,880, and the net profit is $105,990. But this is all in pre-launch. After the start, similar movements give the amount of profit twice as much. Despite the fact that these are only approximate figures that are not guaranteed to anyone, you can use this example to get an idea of the potential that the Forsage matrix is for you. And this is just one of the programs. another Forsage program will unleash the full potential, which was previously only partially used in the old X-Gold program. But now we do not have the previous technical limitations, and we use our capabilities to the fullest. The second program of the updated Forsage will start a little later. We will look at its marketing in the near future in a separate video. Get your teams! Prepare for launch. A grandiose development is awaiting us in a true Forsage. Force is a true Forsage. We are with you. Force.